thought that you knew it all.
I'm Madam X of the Dreaming, here on Vampire Lounge, welcoming you to the collective. Welcome! We are here with Lady Valfreyja from House Illusions. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Lady Valfreyja, tell us a little bit about yourself. I understand that you're originally from California and now you're here in New York.
Yes, I did. I came out here from California. I actually was born out on the East Coast, raised on the West, and came out here to New York about almost 10 years ago.
Is that when you got involved with the vampire community, or was it before?
Actually, a little bit after I came out here. About a year or so after I came out here, I ended up kind of stumbling upon some people over at a shop, and they interested me, and I kept coming back, and they kept inviting me, and so it kind of just stuck from there. But yes, it was quite interesting. I met Lestat back in 2002.
Now, Lestat, most of our viewers may associate Lestat with the character from Anne Rice's book. Is that who you met?
No, that's not who I met.
The inspiration for the book, then?
No, not quite, but definitely a characteristic, a definite character of the community, but nothing near Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt. Completely different. Completely different skin tone, a little bit more charismatic, enjoyed life a lot more, and was a DJ, so he actually played music amongst other instruments that he did play. But
so do you consider Lestat your sire?
Yes, Lestat is definitely my sire.
Would you like to tell the viewers what a sire is, for those who may not be?
Well, a sire is mostly a mentor or a teacher, a parent, mother, father figure that brings one into the scene after you've accepted or decided that this is a path that one wants to travel. And so that teacher or mentor, your sire, helps you along, helps to educate you amongst ways with the community that you live in, certain standards that we try to pride ourselves on, things that we need to accomplish or things that we can do to better ourselves and to better our family at hand. Because everyone has a family in the most part. So whether or not they are structured to somebody, there's a lot of people that don't have sires. They might have came across some people that started teaching them, but left and are just individuals. But my sire, I was very lucky to have, that loved and cared about me a lot, and definitely as much time as I put into it, he put into the time for me, and really helped me to find myself.
And do you define yourself as a vampire? What is, in your perspective, a vampire, if that's the case?
Well, yes, I definitely look upon myself as a vampire. I'm not an immortal per se, because we all live in vessels that are going to wither and die. It's not, unless we come up with some wonderful medicine or a wonderful magic spell where we can go ahead and prolong our life. We're still trapped in these vessels, in these bodies. But within ourselves is like a beast or a demon. There's an extra sense in our core that is a little bit stranger, naughtier, darker than the so-called normal society.
So are you saying that a vampire is basically a human just with a little something extra?
Well, the thing is that humans are already naturally predatory and aggressive and dominant. What happens with most of us vampires, or in this dark scene that we are in, whether they look upon themselves as a werewolf or a vampire, it's a darker nature within ourselves that I feel that people have been able to hone in on and been able to project that energy into things to better their lives or even enjoy their lives more. Because I find that most mundanes, they haven't really embraced that darker nature, even though that it's in each and every one of us on this planet. You're never going to escape that. I mean, humans, regular humans, are just nasty and horrible, and you know, there's so much war and bloodshed that we don't have to be. If we are demons trapped inside ourselves, if we're like what the movies say we are, then we're no different than the human beings that walk in the daytime now. I mean, there's people that rape and murder children and women for no reason whatsoever. But fortunately, I feel that we, in this society, in our vampiric society, we've been able to find that darker side of us and nurture it and make it work for us.
Now, how is that possible?
Well,
I'm sure that the way that you're portraying it is like, okay, we're all essentially aggressive predatorial. The vampire is an aggressive predatorial being. So how can that possibly work for someone?
Well, when you can hone in that energy and not let it take control of you, then you have a grasp on it and you have a deeper control on it. Because some people, I mean, I'm not saying that all of us have a complete grasp on it, because we let that beast out in all of us, because that's also what we thrive on, is because we acknowledge that other beast in us. We acknowledge that predatory nature in us as vampires. That's why we like to hunt. That's why we like to mess with people's heads. You know, if a human gives me the opportunity or time or space to mess with their head a little bit, then I take it. And I play with it. And I twist it.
Why?
Because they're letting me into their world, when it's like, I could go out somewhere, and if I decide to dress a certain way, even if I don't have my fangs in or have my fangs out and showing, as still that magnetism that we all have. We tend to attract people and draw them in and play with them like little cats with yarns, like balls of yarn, you know, because it's just a fun thing to do. I mean, it's to help pass the time. And, you know, maybe you'll find a new little play toy out of the mix, whether it be female or male.
So what you're really saying is that you're taking a little bit of a Jungian philosophy, where you are actually meeting your shadow self, you're confronting your shadow self, and you're actually utilizing your shadow to become a fuller, more complete person.
Yes.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Lady Valfreyja, for joining us here on the Collective tonight. And I do hope you can sit with us again.
Yes.
For another interview.
I hope so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. Please do pass the word by sharing this video with your friends. And if you are interested in being on the Collective yourself, just let us know. And we are looking forward to zooming in on your perspectives.